Hi everyone, have you been in a situation where you have two investment opportunities, one with interest rate 9% and the risk grade B, and another with interest rate 12% and risk grade C, and you are wondering in which loan to invest? If so, this video is for you. To compare investment opportunities in loans that have a different risk grades and returns, you have to know what is the RORAC, or the returns on risk-adjusted capital, and how to calculate it. Let's have an example what the RORAC means. So for example, you have invested 100 euros in 100 loans, which means you have invested 10,000 euros. Let's say for 1 year and with the interest rate 10%. After 1 year you get back 98 loans and 2 loans was defaulted. So you get the 9,800 euros as a principal amount, plus you get the interest, which is 980 euros. So in total you have received 10,780 euros. And if you calculate rate, then it means that effective rate is 7.8%, not a 10%. And the RORAC allows you to calculate this rate before you have invested. And to do so, you need to answer two questions. What is the probability that the borrower will go default? And what will be the loss if the borrowers go default? Let's start with the first question. To understand it, you have to know so-called probability of default, or PD for short. So what does PD mean? It's usually calculated by the credit organization by looking on the last year's data, like on the borrower portfolio, dividing these borrowers in different groups by the financial standing and so on, and looking how much borrowers have defaulted in a different group. So for example, if the group A had 100 borrowers and 2 of them have defaulted last years, then we can assume that this year will happen the same situation, and this means the probability of default is 2%. Meaning, if you invest in the 100 loans, you have to calculate that 2 loans will be defaulted. And this is what risk rates actually should show, the probability of borrower default. Currently, the platforms in the rating, they're describing a lot of different facts, the management, financial standing, and so on, but they are not saying the essence. What is the probability of default? Luckily, the new crowdfunding regulation sets the requirements that crowdfunding platforms have now to present the probability of default. But if you're not investing on the regulated platforms, or for any reasons platforms not providing this information, you could look on general data, and here we are showing the example, the average probability of default of SMEs in Europe. So you can use the similar data to understand what will be the real returns. The second question is how much money you will lose if the borrower goes default. If your loan is secured with some kind of assets and borrowers goes default, this asset will be sold and money used to repay your loan. So this means you might lose only the proportion of your loan or even nothing. For the purpose of the RORAC calculation, you need to understand what is loss given default. In simple words, this is the proportion of the loan which you will lose if the borrower goes default. Let's say you have a loan 1 million euro. And it's secured with a property which value is 1.5 million. If the borrower goes default, this property will be sold and the sales price will be sufficient to fully repay your loan. In this case, loss given default is 0. But if you have a 1 million loan which is secured with a property with the value of 500,000, then if the property will be sold, you will be getting only the half, and this means you will be getting 50%. In this case, the loss given default is a 50%. Let's sum up. When investing, at some point you will lose money. And this is fine, because even the biggest cities, biggest companies, and even countries go default. But if you choose investment products with the right risk-reward ratio, you will be still making good returns even if some loans go default. There is a saying, there is no bad risk, there is only bad price. We, in cooperation with our friends from the auditor company Wilson, have prepared a RORAC calculator, which is available on the crowdfunding.com, so you can choose investments with the right risk and the right price. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments, we will try to answer them. It's all for now, we wish you a great day and successful investing. Bye!